Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm a curator at the National Army Museum. I'd like to tell you a little bit about one of my favourite objects in the museum, the Raglan miniature sword, which is on display in our Society Gallery. It's one of my favourites because it shows how even the tiniest of objects can tell the most compelling and unexpected of stories. The museum acquired the sword in 2014 with the assistance of a grant from the Heritage Lottery Fund. It had been in the Raglan family collection since the early 19th century. The blade, which measures less than 5 centimetres in length and under 1 centimetre in width, is believed to have been crafted from an elm tree that once stood on the battlefield of Waterloo, near the spot on the ridge of Mont Saint-Jean from where the Duke of Wellington chose to direct the battle. In 1818, the tree was cut down and purchased for 200 francs by John George Children, who was a librarian in the Department of Antiquities at the British Museum. He used the wood to make a number of items, including canes, napkin rings, and snuff boxes, and he also commissioned Thomas Chippendale the Younger to make a chair for King George IV, which he presented to him in 1821. The sword has a gold hilt engraved with June 18, 1815, and the gold scabbard is engraved on both sides with Wellington and Waterloo. You can see it has a gold suspension loop. It's too delicate to have been suspended from a gentleman's watch chain, so is more likely an adornment for a fashionable lady, hung from a long chain or from the waist. It's very possible that it was presented to Wellington's niece, Lady Emily Wellesley Pole, who was in Brussels at the time of the battle. In 1814, she'd married Wellington's close companion and aide-de-camp Fitzroy Somerset, who would take on the title of Lord Raglan in later life, the same Lord Raglan most famous for approving the order that led to the charge of the Light Brigade. He received a musket wound at Waterloo, requiring the amputation of his right arm above the elbow, and he apparently demanded the amputated limb be brought back so he could retrieve a ring his wife had given him from the finger. As a relic of the battlefield, the sword would have held much significance for the Raglan family, and despite not knowing the full story behind its commission, it is a beautiful piece of history from a famous and bloody battle, and hopefully it won't be long before you're able to come and see it again.